Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's reading for the week of the 6th of June through to the 12th of June 2016, Gemini season, firebrand, astrology, tarot, and healing. So here we go, right? Yeah, we all know, as I said last week, we are in the midst of the mutable cross at the moment. So we have the Gemini, Sagittarius, and the Virgo and Pisces energy happening. By the end of a week, the cross is still in place, but it's dissipated a little bit. So as you can see, I've done the chart for every day. So here we have Monday and Sunday. So we have the cross in place, and we also have the trine is in place for the beginning of the week. Towards the end of the week, the trine breaks apart. So with the trine breaking apart and Mercury moving out of shadow and moving forwards into Gemini, the support we've had from the Earth energy is going to dissipate a little bit. However, Mercury is moving forwards into Gemini, and Mercury is moving behind the Sun and behind Venus, so it's moving behind the focal point of the mutable cross. Okay, this means that in some respects our thoughts are going to be catching up a little bit before, the time when Mercury overtakes the Sun. And Mercury overtakes the Sun just before he moves retrograde again. This has been happening for quite some while. Mercury is still behind the Sun and catching up, but coming out of shadow period. And that's important because when Mercury is out of shadow period, he is properly forward, and in some respects all of the delays and stuff stop happening. So we still have our thoughts, our communication, the way we communicate with ourselves, the way we communicate with other people, opposing our beliefs and what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about other people, and what we believe about the world. So this would be a good chance to look at the beliefs you have about people in your life, especially if you've got challenges with these people. What are the beliefs behind these challenges? And looking at the Pisces and the Virgo energy is which are illusions and which are real. So, this could be in relationships. Perhaps you're holding on to a relationship which you should let go of because you're disillusioned with the fact that there's a side of it that you like and love, and you're disillusioned with that being the dominant side, when really the shadow side is too strong and you want to walk away, or whatever it is. We have the moon just past the new moon on Monday. So the moon is in Cancer, so we will be focusing on feelings on Monday about everything that's happened. Remember, the mutable cross is in play all week. Tuesday, the moon is still in Cancer, and we're going to be focusing on our feelings and stuff like that. The moon will square, will oppose Pluto, so really some of our feelings about our transformation and stuff like that will come up and might be quite difficult to deal with. People will probably be more needy and sensitive around you, and we'll need to be mindful about what we're doing and how we communicate with people. However, the moon will sextile Jupiter in the North Node, so there will be some support there to clear all the past and the karmic stuff around what we need to heal, and there'll be a chance for us to be of service to other people. So when they are offloading their emotional baggage or their emotional issues on us, the sextile to Jupiter in the node will allow us to be of service to that person and listen to them, and also for us to listen to ourselves and be of service to ourselves, because we can't be of service to other people until we're of service to ourselves first. you've got to put your own mask on before you save everybody else, you know? Simple as that. Obviously, Mars is retrograding. Now, Mars is retrograding in Scorpio, going over the stuff that Saturn was at about a year and a half ago, you know, so it's bringing up some of that stuff which is in relation to our relationships and how we relate to ourselves, because it's opposing Saturn that's now in Sagittarius and also moving backwards, you know, so there's that element to it. By Wednesday, the moon moves into Leo and things get a little bit more dramatic in some respects. People will probably be more demonstrative and over the top about what's going on. We have still the Sun conjuncting Venus. This Venus and Sun conjunction holding hands is for a good period of time because of the way that it works, you know. So there is a support there, and obviously the mutable cross is still in place. So this is all week, so you know there may be a little bit more drama around all the stuff that's been going on, or you will be wanting to find creative ways to express yourself, to get over it. You may be wanting to go out and play a little bit more. It's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. So, you know, be mindful of that with the Pisces stuff and not overdoing it too much and escaping into alcohol or drugs halfway through the week to get over things and deal with them. Thursday, the moon is in Leo and it trines Saturn in Sagittarius, which will help us put some emotional context behind the decisions we're looking at and the beliefs that we have, because a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. And with Saturn in Sagittarius, we're really having to look seriously at our belief systems. You know, a good example of this is if you're like a Donald Trump-esque type person, you know, or a nationalist or something like that. I just watched this little video about DNA, where they sampled people's DNA and you know, these people were convinced that they were 100% French or 100% Icelandic or something, and they got their DNA results back. They weren't, you know. So the belief that we are, you know, you are one nation or something, you're not. We are all connected and we are all a Heinz variety of different things and different people and stuff like that. You know, it could be beliefs about what is possible for you. It could be beliefs about who you are and what you're about and what you're capable of, or what other people are capable of, and what the planet is capable of doing. The moon trining this will allow some emotional support to feel it a bit more, you know. Friday, the moon is still in Leo, but going into Virgo, so we're beginning to prepare for the feelings about the reality of the situation, or we're putting feelings into being of service to ourselves or being of service to others. The moon will conjunct Jupiter and the node next Saturday, obviously forming another focal point, as it will do on this Saturday, another focal point of the mutable cross. So the moon is moving round all of the points of the mutable cross to put feelings into each point of the cross. So last Saturday we were putting feelings into our communication, feelings into how we relate to each other, feelings into embracing our shadow and our light side. The Gemini and the twins. The twins represent the duality of our nature, light and dark, you know. So Saturday, the moon goes over Jupiter and the nodes. Because it's going over Jupiter, the feelings will be expanded and bigger, probably. So we need to be mindful that the feelings aren't too big for ourselves to handle and other people to handle. come next, excuse me, come next Sunday, the end of the week, we are seeing the moon at the later stages of Virgo. Obviously, the moon's going to oppose this Pisces energy at the weekend as well. So that is about, feelings opposed to all that Pisces cross-consciousness stuff, being the illusionment, disillusionment, escapism and stuff like that, so we may be feeling that we can't do that, or we shouldn't do that, or we may be feeling that is what we want to do, but we need to find a balance, because obviously they're opposing each other. We need to find a balance on it. It is obviously because we are in a mutable cross, this is a important time, and it is a cross in the mutable energy, so I think last time we had a big cross, it was in the cardinal energy, so the energy dynamics have changed and are changing. Things are in a state of flux, so when it was in cardinal energy, things were pushing forward, wanting to move forward, wanting to push forward, wanting to get on. If it's fixed energy, it's wanting to be contained and secure and safe. But with the mutable energy, it's excited and everywhere. It's like, look at Pisces, fish in two different directions. Gemini, the twins. Sagittarius with his bow and arrow, wanting to fire the arrows out there into the universe of possibilities and stuff. And Virgo, being of service, looking at the details, stuff like that. So, the energy is all around that. Okay, and let's see. We're going to do the little Harry Potter cards. I mean, I know this week I've noticed, personally, I've been very lightheaded this week and dizzy. And for those of you who know me, I have ADHD. That has been like hyper this week. I've had to breathe and calm myself down on several occasions because my head has been like crazy. I was on local TV this week on Thursday, and I met another astrologer called Maddie, who does the astrology on this TV channel I'm on, and her and I share the same birthday. That's really weird, but I had to really calm myself down before I went on air because my thoughts were like all over the place. My thoughts were everywhere. Very Gemini, electric and all of that. Oh, interesting. So we have the Six of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so the Six of Wands talks about being victorious, celebrating our victories. So we need to be putting some focus on this week in the victories that we have achieved over this period of the mutable cross. So to look at where we've been victorious, our own personal victories, to look at how that relates into celebrating our relationship with ourselves, the relationship we have with the two sides of ourselves, the side of ourselves that we love and the side of ourselves that we don't always love, and to embrace that and celebrate both sides of that and look at how we can accommodate those two sides into the wholeness of who we are, and also to look at if we're dealing with relationship issues with ourselves, with romantic partners, with family members, with friends, to look at don't get too caught up in the word victorious, but to be victorious by it, to celebrate it, because these people here aren't pissed off that this guy has won the award. They're happy for him, and they're celebrating with him that he has won something and he's succeeded. So we need to celebrate our successes and celebrate the successes of each other. We have the water cup here, the cup, and it's in the water signs. Okay, so there is very little water energy at the moment in terms of astrology. We've just got Chiron in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces and Mars in Scorpio, with a lot of kind of earth, fire and air energy at the moment, so which is really asking us to remain emotionally balanced throughout the week as much as we can, and to embrace the three the three elements of Scorpio, Pisces and Cancer. So to be sensitive to our needs, to be sensitive to the needs of others, okay, but not to be too sensitive and too grubby like cancers can be sometimes, to embody the energy of Christ consciousness, of poeticness and beauty energy, dreamy energy of Pisces, but not to be caught up in escapism and addiction and being disillusioned, to be focused on the good side of the intensity of Scorpio, and the fact that the Scorpio energy goes into the depths and pulls stuff out for us to look at, but not to be caught up in revenge and being caught up in that shadow side of the Scorpio energy. So really this week is about, celebrating our victories, looking at how we celebrate the victories of others, looking at how we can bring that into our relationships with ourselves and our relationships with other people in celebrating the victories of that, and to embrace our emotions and our emotional side, but not to be caught up in the shadow side of Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio, and to be mindful of that. And my thought this week is, a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking, so you can change your thoughts, which means you can change your beliefs if you choose to change your beliefs. Thank you very much. I love you all, and I will hopefully see you next week.